Hi everyone, my name is Kartik and my channel is about mental models. In this video I'm going to be talking about ecosystems. In biology, an ecosystem is a network of interacting organisms as well as their physical environment. The key is that an ecosystem is a network, and that means everything is connected and nothing exists in isolation. Ecosystems are, however, not just something that exist in biology. Ecosystems are everywhere. Let's look at some examples. So, firstly, the corporate world. The corporate world is an ecosystem itself. The corporate world is a complex network of companies, customers, competitors, suppliers, and other stakeholders. So you have all of these entities, and they're all interconnected with each other, as an example. And this is an ecosystem within an ecosystem, because the economy, so let's say the economy, which has other parts to it as well, where things are interconnected, the economy, which is something the corporate world is a part of, is also another wider ecosystem as well. Another example, so this is an example. A further example are mental models. Mental models are ecosystems. There are many interconnections between mental models and the environments within which they can be used. The scenarios, the actors, all are also part of this intricate and dynamic interplay. So you've got, let's say a bunch of mental models. They're all interconnected, but then you've got sort of scenarios, and these scenarios are connected to these mental models, and this one's connected to those two, this one's connected to here, and then you've got sort of the various people, and they're connected to scenarios as well. And you can see that there is, I'm just simplifying the diagram here, but as you can see, it's all very intricate, all very dynamic, and the understanding of this determines whether an outcome is positive or not. Ecosystems have two things in common. Firstly, they are complicated, as sort of you can see here. And secondly, these complicated phenomena are often analysed in relation to their simpler or more fundamental component parts. So in the corporate world, it's sort of competitors, companies, customers. In the mental models, it's looking at individual mental models. So this is something that all ecosystems have in common. It's a commonality. But what does it take to understand an ecosystem? Well, one must take time to study the ecosystem. To truly understand ecosystems, one must look beyond the components of the ecosystem and consider the patterns of relationships and feedback that give rise to the interconnectedness, because it is the characteristic, or this is because the characteristic of the ecosystem are formed on the interaction. So these bits here, the interactions of its components. So these bits here, and sort of these bits here. It's the interactions going all the way around. It's the interactions of its components rather than the components themselves. And what is more is that these interactions can be unpredictable. And so that also means that ecosystems are more, so the whole is greater than or more than the sum of its parts. So you add up all the bits together and look at them individually, even then the whole ecosystem is more dynamic, more intricate, more complicated than just putting all the little parts together. And because of the feedback mechanisms built into ecosystems, another key point about ecosystems is that they can self-correct and look after themselves. So there's feedback mechanisms built in. Understanding ecosystems is therefore important because any intervention without this could lead to unintended consequences, which could give rise to a bigger problem. Understanding how your actions in one part of the ecosystem, let's say here, cascade into other parts of the ecosystem, or sort of here to here to here to here, that understanding will go a long way towards producing better outcomes. A further point that I wanted to add, and touching on my earlier example of mental models, is that this mental model on ecosystems itself is connected to both the group of systems thinking mental models, I've talked about feedbacks here, and it's also connected to the second order thinking mental model, where you need to think further than just the part that you want to intervene. If that's the case, you need to look at where the actions will cascade into. So that's a higher order thinking. So second order thinking, the mental model on second order thinking, is also connected here. And so this mental model also does not exist in isolation. And that's all for this video and for this mental model. I hope you liked this video. If you did, then please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And please do check out my mini-series on systems thinking and also my video on second order thinking, which are both flashing on screen now. And I will see you in the next video with another mental model. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.